Oh, hey. Hey, folks, guys. Hey, folks, guys. Hey, guys, folks. Yeah. Anyway, all right. This is number 19, apparently, and it's the 19th. So that was kind of an insignificant coincidence. Uh, all right. Welcome, everyone. Happy Friday. I love Fridays. Fridays are great. Even with distance learning, working from home, Fridays they hit a little bit differently. Um, I don't know. You know it's the weekend. If you work a regular weekly job, then having that 2 day weekend schedule on the regular is it feels nice. It's good having that sort of grounded routine. I always used to tell myself that I didn't like routines, that they were boring, but I don't know, man. The older you get, when you have kids and a family and a house and everything, like having an actual routine is pretty sweet. Uh, it is nice when you break from routine every once in a while, but you know, it's it's good knowing what's coming up. I don't know. It maybe it's personal preference, but okay. So today, our topic is it falls under the umbrella term of faking it till you make it. And this is actually something I have to deal with in the classroom, which is trying to spark conversation. But not just any kind of conversation. There's the kind of teacher conversation where you've got your teacher who's trying to get you to say the right answer. And that's there's nothing wrong with that, really. Well, there kind of is, but that's kind of a trap that us teachers fall into a lot of times. And if you're a student, you probably understand where I'm going with this, is that we're sitting there and we ask a question to the class, or maybe even to a specific student. And we're so focused on hearing that right answer parroted back to us that if we get something back that's wrong or slightly off, that our first instinct is to correct that student. Say, no, actually, that's not the correct answer. Does anyone have the correct answer? Or the correct answer is X, Y, and Z. And that's even worse, because then you're just giving the answer away and you're not letting the student do any of the mental work for which is what they're supposed to be doing. Like a few days ago, when I suggested that teachers should let students do the majority of the work. Yeah, that applies to physical work for the projects, but that also applies to the mental work, and probably more so the mental work. When you give people the answer, then they get it in their heads, either consciously or subconsciously, that that's just how it is. People, all you have to do is sit and not say anything, or just give out whatever's at the top of your head without actually thinking about what the answer is. And someone else is going to come in and correct you and give you the right answer. And what that does is creates this feedback loop. It creates this this sense of I hate using this word because it sounds so loaded, but it does create a sense of entitlement, that hey, it doesn't really matter what I think. Someone else is going to come in, give me the answer. But it also creates this overemphasis on getting the right answer. That the whole point of all of education is just finding the right answer. Not just finding an answer, but finding the right answer. And what that ends up leading to is this, sort of false dichotomy that it's either that you either get the right answer or you get nothing. And you think about how a lot of our conversation is structured in this country, in the world, in the state, where whatever social zone you're talking about. And that that becomes really damaging over time when people become obsessed with, you know, getting just the right answer. You know, you see that in politics. I don't want to really talk politics. I really don't, but you do see it in politics. You know, it's either this way or no way, my way or the highway. You know, it's the right answer or nothing. You see it all over social media, and you know, politically, socially, you see it all over the place, in virtually every conversation, even conversations among, you know, people who should be smart, forward thinking, you know, dare I say, woke individuals. And myself, I'm including myself in this too, you know, so I'm not, I try not to point fingers without knowing that, you know, hey, I'm pointing back at myself too. But you see a lot of this in you know, sort of the social justice scene. Not that I'm trying to, you know, say one thing's bad or another, but you know, you see a lot of all or nothing in that scene, and it's so unfortunate because, you know, with the topic of justice, with the topic of fairness and equity and equality, we should be looking for nuance. We should be considering context and external factors and time and, you know, all these other things that come into play, before making these judgments about, you know, what should people have done, or how should they have responded, or how should they have done this differently. And you know, it all, a lot of that boils down to this sort of all or nothing. I'm not saying that, you know, your teachers giving you the answers in class leads to injustice in the world, but maybe it does. Maybe it does. Who knows? To cycle that back to what I want to talk about today, in class today, I am going to try to have a guided, organic conversation with my students. Really, what I'm trying to do is just to get them to reflect a little bit on something that they, excuse me, coffee burps, something that they've learned this year in woodshop, distance woodshop, because it's been a crazy trip, hasn't it? And just reflecting on something they've learned. That's all. That's as complex as I want to make it. I don't want to make it any more complicated than that, for a couple of reasons. One, you know, we've got 20 some kids per class. Most of them might be willing to talk on stream, on Zoom. But we only have a limited amount of time. And also, it's really useful sometimes to just take a day, take some time, take an hour, take however long, and just sit back and reflect on how far you've come. Progress is good, but every so often you need to go back and take stock of how far, or where you were before and how far you've come. That's important. I feel that's important for maintaining your mental health and also keeping yourself on track. When we get hyper-focused onto a task, we make a lot of progress. It is so important to periodically be able to stop, turn around, look back, and, you know, see where we've come, and then also look forward to where we wanted to go in the first place and where we're headed right now. Because those two things might not be the same anymore. It may be the case that, you know, the direction that you were going is, or that you wanted to go in the first place. Well, okay, you know what? Actually, I want to focus in on this target now. Or maybe you still want to hit that original target, but your work has taken you kind of on a side path a little bit, and you need to sort of veer back onto your path. Being able to have that reflectiveness, I guess that would work, have that reflection is, I feel it's vital to any task, big or small, especially one that takes a period of time to accomplish. So that's why I want to do that. Second reason I want to do that is because I was out yesterday with a sub. And the task that I put to my first and fifth periods, that I had the sub do. My sub's a very energetic, wonderful person, and I had her basically interview my students, just with that simple question: "What have you learned so far in woodshop this year?" And basically, the instructions were, hey, have a conversation with the students, and everyone who responds either in voice or in chat gets credit. So just, keep track of who talks and who doesn't. And that's it. There weren't any other criteria. It wasn't like I was having her look for specific answers. I didn't even give her suggestions of what to look for. I didn't even tell her these are things that we were learning this year. So actually it came up very, from her report anyway, it sounded very organic because, here you have someone coming into this scenario basically blind, who has no idea. They know it's a woodshop class and they know it's been distance learning, so there's got to be something up there. But coming in here blind basically, and being tasked with just talking with students. And kids, the thing about kids is generally they want to tell you what's going on in their lives. They want to. Kind of like me. I like telling you what's going on in my life. So being a high school teacher has kept me young, that's for sure. Young mentally, not all these bags under my eyes. That's just from life. That it hasn't helped that part. But from all accounts, it was a very organic type of interaction. And today, by the way, I got excused from jury duty, so all done with that. So yay, I don't have to go back today. But now today I have my even classes, and I want to try and keep them on the same schedule. I don't just want to, move forward, because then my other classes are going to be behind and off schedule. So I have to recreate that sense of organic conversation that my other two classes had yesterday, except that I know what they've been learning this year. I know what they are supposed to know this year. I know which students have been doing their assignments and turning stuff in and which ones haven't. So the kids who have been doing the work, I kind of already know the answer to it, but the kids who haven't, it's kind of up in the air. Some kids, they just learn, they don't do the work, but they still learn something. And unfortunately, you can't really pass them because they can't demonstrate that they've learned something. And therefore, when you do grades, you can't demonstrate that they've learned something because they don't turn in anything, and so you don't have anything to go off of. And that's a problem, because if you give them an A anyway, and it ever comes back like, oh, well, what about your grading policies? Well, this student looks like they didn't turn in any work, but they got an A. I mean, you can get out of that, but you've got to answer those questions. You got to answer to that. Hey, I gave the student an A because they were able to demonstrate, some other way. It makes it more complicated. But I have to recreate that organic, quote unquote, organic conversation. I drew my 19 today. I'm really happy with this. It looks cool. It's got that digital feel, but it's a little organic. So it's fake organic. Thematic. We're being thematic today. So I have to fake that organic interaction, that organic conversation. Like I'm not quite sure how to do that. Do I go into it like, okay, kids, just pretend that I'm an idiot. I don't know, maybe not lead with that, because that could end poorly. I don't want them to take that at face value. But, going into it with knowledge, but acting like I don't have that knowledge. And that's It's basically faking that organic conversation. And for someone like me who's used to running a conversation, hey, Alberto, what's up, dude? I'm just talking about what we're doing in class today. We got one of my students in chat here. Anyway, that got me distracted. So I'm used to running conversation, just because I'm used to talking into the ether, and I'm getting better at it. Oh, and we got Eduardo too. Hey, both of you guys are in here. That's awesome. So I'm used to running conversations, and now I have to be able to ask a question and then step back. But as a teacher, as a facilitator, my challenge is to keep the conversation going forward, but without running the conversation. So calling on people or asking leading questions, or what's the word? Asking people to elaborate on something, or, sort of taking something they said and changing it a little bit and asking them what they think about that, but keeping it short and sweet and simple. And, with the knowledge that I've got 20 some students in my class and only an hour to get through all of that. So obviously the time can't get monopolized by a single person. Yeah, that's a challenge. I can definitely work on that, but it's, for me, that's going to be a little bit of work. So, Alberto, Eduardo, how are you guys doing today? I know they can't talk. They're used to talking, but they'll have to type it in chat because YouTube Live's just not like that. They probably checked out. Oh, there they are. You're so tired? Yeah, me too, buddy. That's why I'm on my second cup of coffee today. But Eduardo, I'm doing good. Like I said, I got my second cup of coffee. I'm getting a haircut today, actually. It's on my my lesson plan for the day. I finished my video, my pot rack video. It's done. I actually uploaded it. I'm working on all the tags and the details and stuff. I need to do the description. I also got my Amazon affiliate program applied for, and that's actually up and running. So I need to, what I think I'll do is go through my video and my last video and look at some of the tools and see if there's anything that I can pull from Amazon to link down in the description for my pot rack video. What can you buy? Glue. Lots of glue. Yeah, I gotta look and see what I have that's available on Amazon that would fit within the theme. I've got a few things on my mind that I think might work, but I still need to. That's on my list of things to do, is sort of explore and see what's available. I'm getting a haircut today. I'm excited for that. Made a haircut appointment a couple weeks ago. I'm not sure if I'm just going to go in for a trim or if I'm going to go like short. I've had long hair for a long time, so we'll see. I think I'll just decide when I get there. Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. So I still need to do the thumbnail for the pot rack video. I'm excited to do that. I have kind of a general plan for it, but I think I need to take some more pictures. I ended up subscribing to a year of Adobe Photoshop, which I used to use Photoshop a lot back in the day. And then I stopped for a long time. I was using like cheap free editors. And then I started using Corel Photo Paint. I don't like Corel Photo Paint. Corel Draw is okay. Like I can get by. I don't need Illustrator. I can do Corel Draw. But Photo Paint is just weird. I don't like the workflow on that. So I ended up springing for the Photoshop subscription and just got a year of that to get back into it. And, oh man, I missed working in Photoshop. I actually used it for my pot rack video. I did a neat little stinger intro, and it's It's cool. It's fun. I enjoyed it. It's gonna be neat. It's different. It's zippy, poppy, kind of stupid and silly, like me. Stupid and silly. So anyway, it's 9:08. I need to start getting things ready for class here, so I am going to end the stream, and I'll see the rest of you guys in class, or whenever I see you. All right, guys, have a good one. I'll probably Monday. See you guys Monday.